Welcome back, my friends. Today we're going to talk about the classic tune, I'm a Believer. A lot of you will remember this song from Shrek, but us oldie grandfather types remember this song from the early days, the classic 60s, and that classic group, the Monkees. Some of my earliest memories on television are watching the old Monkees TV show and hearing them play some of these great hits. This one, of course, written by Neil Diamond before he was, of course, the classic Neil Diamond that we know and love. And this is a classic tune, a very simple tune to learn. Let's take a look at the intro, then we'll look at the verse, and then, of course, the chorus. You can play this song in the key of A, and that's where I'm going to play it. So let's talk about the introduction. For the introduction, we're going to use that classic rock and roll riff pattern made famous by Chuck Berry, the Beatles, the Beach Boys, right? And you'll see them, of course, do it up here. Right? But now we're going to do it with the open string, which makes the reach, which is a little bit of a stretch to do it up there, but with the reach is gone if we use the open fret, right? So we're just going to go, and we're only playing the 5 and the 4 with the thumb. Now the intro is going to be doing eighth notes, so we're going to go 1 and 2 and then we're going to come up to the dominant 7th, so we can just slide up there or use the 4th finger. Da, 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 da. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we're going to do a series of 3 notes with one being a hammer on. Open, again the thumb and the first finger going back and forth. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we're into the verse with the A chord, okay? So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay? Now a variation on that would be the same, starting out the same. Do, 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 do. Now here, do, do, a little triplet. Da, da. So a triplet on the 3rd beat the 2nd time through. So we got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then to the A. Okay, so 2 different ways you can do that. You can play around with that triplet if you wish. But basically that is the introduction to the song, and now we get into the verse. Now when we get into the verse, I'm going to play the A chord like this with just a single finger down across. You can play it like this if you wish, with 2, 3, 4. Some people will play it 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4 seems easier to me, but actually a lot of times I find myself not really playing an A like this, but playing it with just one bar, I guess you'd play 4-string bar, right? And this makes it much easier to play. It also gives you a 6th on the 1st string, because that's the F sharp, which is the 6th of A. So now we've got actually an A6 chord. But because I'm only playing 2 fingers together, I'm not even playing that last string. So that it doesn't really matter if I keep it down or not. And just having one finger there just makes it easier to play the chord. So what I'm going to do with the thumb is sort of a Travis picking mode here to keep the bass moving. So it's going to be 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, thumb, okay, thumb, so 5, 4, 6, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4. This is a pretty standard rotating Travis picking style move here, and it gets us a bass line. So as we're playing solo, we've got that bass line going with the thumb, and we've also got some rhythm going with the fingers. So we're going to get something like this. Okay, so you can see that the 8th notes are being played with 2 fingers. And to modify that just a little bit, you could play thumb, and then when the thumb plays the 4, you play the little fingers there the first time. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. So a little variation on that. You could play it like this with all eighths, or you could play 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and okay, a couple of variations. But again, we're playing the A chord with just one finger across. We're not playing the first string, so we don't have to worry about the F sharp. Okay, so I'm going like this. I thought love was, and now we're going to go to an E7. You can play the E7 with these two fingers and the little pinky down here on the D, all by itself. Okay, so we've got A, E7, A, E7, A. Now we're going to go to a D. I like to play the D7 up here. You could play it here if you wish. I like it here because it gives me a nice bass line thing going. Remember that we're playing in the bass. Okay, and we're still doing the same finger picking on all these chords. But if we play the D up here, we can get a nice bass line going. Whereas here, it's a little bit more open. Okay, I just like the feel of that. You've got more control over those bass notes. You can stomp them. And then we go back to the E. So all the chords for the verse are going to be A, E, A, A, E, A. And then we're going to go to D7, da da da, back to A. D7, da da da, back to A. D7, back to A. And then to the E. Okay? And that's the verse. That's all there is for the verse. A, D, and E. A, 3, 4, to the E, to the A, and A for 2. A, 3, 4, E, and then to the A for 2. Now we're going to go to D for 4, and then back to A for 4. D for 4, back to A for 4. D for 4, back to A for 4, and then E, and stop. And you wait 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you come into the chorus, right? So that's it. So let's do a little verse and show you how that works. I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else, but not for me. That was out to get me, that's the way it seemed. Disappointed, haunted all my dreams. And there's your verse. And that takes us finally to the chorus. And the chorus, of course, is going to be, then I saw her face. Now, here's where we can go back to that intro where we were playing that good old rock riff, right? And so remember, we're coming off the verse. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. On a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. Ooh, back to the D7. I'm a believer. I couldn't. Now, here's an interesting thing. We're going to a G chord. Beaver, if I tried. To the E. So we've got a new chord in the chorus. It's the G, which adds all the difference in the world, right? So we've got, then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer, not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love, ooh, I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Okay, and then from here, from the E7, tried, and back to that intro riff, and back to the A again for the verse. So notice how that intro hammer-on leads us back into the verse from the chorus, okay? And now another thing that you could add, just putting these two second and third finger on that fifth string, and adding those two notes in just to give it a little more flavor. And I saw her face, and believer, trace doubt in my mind. I'm in love. Okay, you could pretty it up a little bit. But basically the riff is, then I saw her face, now I'm a believer, not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love, ooh, I'm a believer, I couldn't leave her if I tried. 3, 4, and then you're into the next verse, okay? So here's a little bit of how this should work if you get the whole thing together. From the beginning, we're going to do the intro. Da 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 da. I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else, but not for me. Love was out to get me, that's the way it seemed. Disappointed, haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face, now I'm a believer, not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love, ooh, I'm a believer, I couldn't leave her, I tried. Da, 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 da. I thought love was more or less a given thing. Okay, and then we're into the next verse. So that's basically the song. Pretty easy song to play. Again, you could do it with the little finger style to put a little bass in there for you, make it a little more interesting, or you could just strum it, which works fine too. Again, this is kind of directed toward a solo performer, so we want to get a little bass line in there to help us out. But whatever works for you is fine. Again, if you have any questions or comments, always very interested to hear what you have to say. I hope this helps you out. This is a great one. Everybody knows it. Everybody loves it. So add it to that repertoire and have a ball. And until next time, my friends, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again in our next exciting episode. Be well.